Hey everyone, it's Sundays with Timmy XJW. As you can tell by the title of this video, I want to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses and social guilt. Now, I talked about in my previous video about Jehovah's Witnesses and bite model. For those who don't know what bite model is behavior, information, thought, and emotional control. And again, like I talked about in that video, Jehovah's Witnesses like to use it well. And I'm not saying, like I said before, they don't use all of it, but they use a good majority of it on their followers. Especially social guilt, which is what I want to talk about. It goes along hand in hand with shunning and being disfellowshipped. And basically, again, anything that doesn't involve free independent thinking. Anyway, like I said, I want to get into the subject on social guilt. It really interests me more on the research of social guilt. And if I do after this video, I'll leave a link in the description and you can learn more about social guilt. I'm sure a lot of you ex-Jehovah's Witnesses are familiar, though, with social guilt, or even ex-Mormons or whatever ex-cult member is watching this. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. Anyway, leave a quick read on social guilt here really quick. Ultimately, shame and guilt are both social emotions which are meant to keep people from acting in pure self-interest. Again, this can go hand in hand with being able to have independent thinking, which Jehovah's Witnesses heavily frown upon in that religion. Anyway, as we will see, though shame is a generally maladaptive emotion, while guilt is generally an adaptive emotion. Again, unfortunately, Jehovah's Witnesses don't realize they're instilling guilt onto their ex-members or followers, especially their followers, because, again, these Watchtower headquarter head men like to use it toward their followers, making them feel utterly shameless about themselves. I'll also give an example. Like I said, I made videos about being shunned, disfellowshipped, what they believe, their propaganda techniques, and the bite model. So I've talked about what disfellowshipping is and what it does. An elder or brother or whoever is going to give an end talk and prayer will go up to the podium right then and there, announce that this brother or sister is now no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And again, right then and there, they will be considered mentally diseased or an apostate. They won't fully publicly humiliate their ex-members why they're disfellowshipped, but they'll just tell them, leaving their current followers, their members that are still trapped in, at an edge why they are no longer a Jehovah's Witness. They'll just think of them as more of one of Satan's enemies. And they'll disfellowship them, unfortunately, even in the smallest of sin. I remember growing up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Like I said, I'm one of first-generation Jehovah's Witnesses because of my parents, unfortunately. I remember whenever I wanted to hang out with people that weren't Jehovah's Witnesses, my dad would instill a lot of guilt trip on me when I would want to be with people that weren't Jehovah's Witnesses. Looking back at it, it makes a lot of sense. It's unfortunately all Jehovah's Witnesses know how to do. That's one of their main tactics, is making anyone and everyone that comes within range of them, make them feel guilty. I'll also give another example. Systematically lie to their followers, and that falls into category with social guilt. And again, that's something unfortunately Jehovah's Witnesses that are closed-minded aren't aware of, that they're constantly using guilt. I've seen I think a couple of them where an ex-member who's never met Jehovah's Witnesses in person before, when they were in, because of the certain congregation districts and stuff like that, they'll ask them about shunning. Do they shun people? And they literally lie to the person that asked them that. They'll literally lie to them and say no they don't, when clearly they do. But like I said, unfortunately that's how they use social guilt. Again, they unfortunately like to use social guilt as one of their favorite weapons. I'll leave also an example. like I said before in my previous video, I have family members that aren't Jehovah's Witnesses. If I didn't say it, I'm just going to say it anyway. Like I said, I have family members that aren't Jehovah's Witnesses, but because of my parents and my stepmom, they like to instill guilt onto family members who never had any interest, never really went to the Kingdom Hall or anything like that. My parents and my stepmom will instill guilt into any of their family members, again, that aren't a part of it, because that's all they know, is because of the Watchtower headquarters teaching them how to socially guilt anyone and anything within their range. And I know a lot of you ex-Jehovah's Witness friends of mine are really familiar with that because, again, a lot of our parents that are Jehovah's Witnesses know how to use that to their advantage toward us because we're spiritually weak, as they will. I mean, granted, this goes to any religion, but I'm just saying they like to use social guilt to their advantage. The elders or brothers or whoever's giving a talk will feed that information to their followers, and then their followers will give it at home and to anyone that's an ex-member or not even a member and that had no interest. My family, unfortunately, is like that. I mean, again, like I said, they never really went to a Kingdom Hall much or at all, but they have that mentality, like I said, because of my parents. And it's unfortunate that my parents don't realize how much damage they're doing because of this social guilt thing that they know how to do. Like I said, I know my ex-Jehovah's Witness friends can confirm this, with what it feels like to be socially guilted by their parents or whoever they were raised with that are Jehovah's Witnesses. Again, mostly parents. But like I said, I just wanted to throw that out there because I have been thinking about this a lot ever since I read and talked about the bite model, that social guilt is one of their main favorite tactics that they use toward anything and everything. I mean, granted, they don't use all of the bite model techniques, but they use a good majority of it. But that's just what I wanted to talk about in this video. How they like to use, again, social guilt amongst a lot of the other things I talked about in my previous video with bite model and how Jehovah's Witnesses use it. Like I said, it's unfortunate Jehovah's Witnesses are not completely aware of it at all in any way, shape, or form, that they're using guilt, social guilt, toward other people because that's all they know how to do. They don't realize the damage they're unfortunately doing. But like I said, that's what I wanted to talk about in my video for this one today. It really caught my attention when I was reading the bite model. Social guilt caught my attention, so I wanted to leave it with this one. And that's why, unfortunately, a lot of us ex-members are socially crippled because all we knew was social guilt and all that other stuff. I don't really want to say a lot of us are socially crippled. If you're an ex-Jehovah's Witness that is new here watching this, don't ever self-doubt yourself. Don't feel guilty that you talk to people that are good people that aren't Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't let yourself ever have to feel guilty because of that. Just remember, Jehovah's Witnesses are trained to act that way, trained to be that way, trained to instill that into people's mind. Don't ever feel guilty. You're out of it for a reason. Whatever reason that may be, you're out of it for a reason. You're out of that religious cult now. You can feel free to explore the world out there without having the elders or brothers make you feel, again, guilty just because you did things that they don't approve of. They're doing it themselves, but that's whatever. I also wanted to leave into another thing really quick, and then I'll be done here. I also noticed, I know I've talked about this in my previous videos, but it leads into the whole guilt tripping thing. a lot of us know Tony Morris, the head elder, one of the head elders at the Watchtower headquarters. Gives talks on to brothers and sisters about wearing tight pants. I enjoy tight pants myself. I mean, granted, you don't have to be gay just to wear tight pants. Tight pants, you can be gay, straight, whatever. You can enjoy wearing tight pants because you want to. It doesn't make you a homosexual, or it doesn't attract homosexuals when you wear tight pants. If you look at Tony Morris's pants, he is clearly wearing tight pants himself. I just wanted to throw that out there. That was another form of guilt tripping. And again, I know a lot of you are familiar with Tony Morris, but anyway, like I said, you don't have to feel guilty for whatever reason, like I've said in my previous videos. You don't have to feel guilty doing the things you love to do, as long as it's safe out there for you, and you have people that have good intentions, that aren't Jehovah's Witnesses in any way, but are good people. You don't have to feel guilty hanging out with them just because the Jehovah's Witnesses said so. But I wanted to throw that out there. I may make another video on guilt tripping and more about guilt tripping from Jehovah's Witnesses. Haven't quite decided on that yet. But if you enjoyed this one, leave it a like, share this video to your favorites, share this video around with your friends, hit that red subscribe button down below. Only takes 3 seconds of your time. Leave a comment letting me know what you thought of this. Like I said, I just wanted to talk about it because it caught my attention when I was reading about the bite model. So, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.